because like I would test it first. It'll be hard. It'll be hard to know right away for real because like mine's one of the lowest monitors on the market. I got lucky with that. Like, but mine's just a 60 hertz, so it's not like some kooky $1 billion gaming monitor. It's just the response time on it is silly. Um, that was what the feature about it was like sick about it. So I got it from Best Buy on sale, and right when I started playing, the first thing I played was Perfect Dark, and I barely noticed the difference at all. And within 15 minutes, I literally was GG. Like I was like, dude, this is fucking perfectly fine. But GoldenEye took a minute to get used to. I will not lie, even though it's pretty noticeable. But if it's like super delayed, then that might be fucked. But I don't know. Surely I don't think it could be that bad, honestly. Callie would have all the tech answers that you would need if they were very, very serious tech questions or something like that. Because I'm actually fucking mentally retarded when it comes to shit like that. But you playing on a monitor is nice, dude. Pretty good. But I'd imagine that would work fine. But I had to buy a new monitor with mine because I have an Elgato, so I had to use HDMI to a fucking like new gen monitor, and I didn't have another one. And the one I have don't have the speakers. So I was like, fuck, I need a monitor that has good refresh rate and speakers built in. So I was pretty much SOL. I just had to do that. I was GG ripped at the moment. Yeah, that'll be pretty kooky though. No, how did I open that door looking down like that so much? See, that was like the perfect B press. See, I'm always trying to YOLO that door press. Never get it. That was pretty good. I like wasn't ready for that though. Trying to look down a lot more. Yeah, man, I don't know. You're pacing some cookie times on Japanese, man. Might just be a GG rip for train on fucking pal. You're right. It might be, dude. You could be correct. It's looking like a WWF Stone Cold Stunner. Are you gonna Stone Cold Stunner Henrik from the top rope? Wow. I have a feeling you're gonna play Train on Pal, and you're gonna be like, wow, dude. Like, I know you have before, but I have a feeling you're gonna be like, hmm. Dude, his times are kooky. Oh, yeah, they are. They're kooky McJimmy. That's why it's a little sad to think that you're gonna do the WWF Undertaker Slam Dunk McFucking Undertaker Slam. Dude, you're gonna literally do the fucking pile driver off the top rope Undertaker down into the fucking casket, Paul Bearer style WWF 1998 shit. I don't think I'll beat any of them. I don't know, man. You might get 55 on Agent. Jap is pretty laggy, dude. Jap is not as bad as English and stuff, and I'm no train expert, but I'll tell you one thing, I definitely am not stupid, and my eyes do not deceive me. Dude, train is... Dude, whenever I watch anybody play on PAL, I just can't believe what I'm watching. It's not like it's like a superpower, but it surely is so much, so much, so much more consistent. Yeah. I mean, what is absolutely maxed out of this world on train, Agent? Right. Huh. Well, that'll be Looney Toony. They need to, dude, warping, that'd be so cool if you could the locks at the end and just skip them entirely. Pretty good. A little more look down. Damn, bro. Little more look down. What is this? How the fuck is that 16? Dude, this run feels like it's taking a eternity long. That's crazy. What the fuck? You fucking nerd. I'm gonna ban you for this run, honestly, and Joey's gonna kill you afterwards for it. Dude, it feels like that run took fucking like 18 seconds. I don't even understand. Like, it wasn't because of bad movement, it just like that route just looked so long and all that shit with the clobs and the lag. I don't even get it. That's make Jimmy John's, dude. That's Jimmy John's sandwich. Nope. They're gonna wipe me out tonight, boys. I won't even get a chance. It'll be history for me tonight. You'll never hear of me again after tonight. Dead. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna fucking kill me. They're gonna end my fucking
What's
life.
up? My boy is here, Christian. How
Sean
you
John
doing,
seems
my
like a
man?
nice guy. Should be no
How you
big deal,
doing,
honestly.
Oklahoma?
It'll be cool, and I won't do anything, say anything kooky McDaniels, and I'll hold it down. I'll hold it down for, dude. Honestly, I'll hold
Yo,
it
what's
down
up,
for
Mugarelius? What is up, Mugarelius?
people who deserve it.
Welcome, welcome.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm not snooping you
I
out.
just
I'm just
mean it,
seeing
like-
who you are. Welcome. Oi.
The people who deserve it.
I got the
You know what I mean?
I got the other video up
Like
loud. I might
for
turn
an
it down.
unbiased, like.
I'm gonna turn this down a bit.
Like
There's a lot of wind, too.
I cannot stress enough how silly it is that I have to do this.
That's a little
And
better.
it's just like, I don't want to like be like, dude,
That's
you're a
probably
cunt for
best.
doing this because it's not his fault.
What
But
up?
I
What
want
up?
to stress that like the seriousness level needs to be taken down. Just one notch. Just
No
one.
freaking
Not
way.
two, not three.
No way.
Half a one.
Are you serious? Dude, that
Down.
sucks.
Like,
It's so shadow banned. It's such bullshit, man.
So serious.
It's fucked. If you stream like a NBA or NHL game or some shit, or you say the wrong things, it's just so crazy. And they go after the big streamers too. I don't know if you're a big streamer or a big watcher. You don't have to be a streamer. You can just be your name and everything. It's just talk back. Yeah, that's that's true. Sorry, I'm trying me to laugh, but yeah. Nice, Christian. That's awesome. What are you doing in Oklahoma?
I also want to talk about like.
Where are you working in Oklahoma?
You know. Yeah. Well, I mean that.
That's
and
awesome,
Also,
Christian.
like, two of the council members having complete hatred for me and typing up extreme, documents about me, going kooky McJimmy about it. When I have literal proof that.
Yeah, engineer?
both of them
Wow,
have spoke
nice.
in the chat in a combined total of 99 messages, being from one of them.
I hear what you
members,
mean
the
about
other
the
one
streaming.
sending zero. I've never spoke to
Nice.
face-to-face in my
QA
entire
tester,
life.
ethical hacker,
I've
cool.
never spoke to one of them ever.
I know a
so I don't
little
how
bit
they could
about
possibly hate me. I don't know
computer
how they
stuff,
could still
but
hate
more
me
the
from the
databases
past.
and
It was they
PHP,
jumped on the train.
PHP MyAdmin,
I don't know where
MySQL,
one
that
was
type of
gonna
stuff.
take me, to be completely
That's what I
honest.
know, I guess. And HTML5.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I will. No, absolutely going to be mentioning all of that. Like, from not only from who many people, and I'm going to not say any names, but I'm going to say from people that I've been told millions of times, from a lot of people, like that, like
Nice.
that
Nice.
very
I'm a
true, like.
I'm a
Also, too, like, having that in your face
Biologist.
by somebody that I'm not quite
Environmental
sure
biologist.
why they hate me.
thanks, man.
I think these kids jumped on a train.
I'm Lord bless me, thanks, bro. I'm an environmental biologist. I studied biology.
Exactly. That people came to enjoy and stuff like that. And also, I'm going to put in
So-
there too. Don't think I have a whole list of things wrote down.
That's cool, man. You say mutations, genetics. That's cool. Plastic dissolves. Depends. I guess depends what type. The issue with plastics is it has like halogens. It has chlorine and
I'm also
fluorine.
going to say
It's like
too,
chlorinated,
the thing is,
right?
the
Or
only reason that I
fluorinated,
went
and that's
on
kind
the
of
stream
one of the
board and I
issues
did
with
it
plastic
late, I
also.
wanted to do it even sooner. The only reason that I did it
Great hat
too
hacker.
was because
Cool.
of the DSPN matches. And the
AI
match play grand
researcher
finals. I wanted to get on there
using
early
genetics.
because I heard that Samo and
Wow.
and Spicy were suddenly doing this
You
match
mean,
play, ESPN style fucking
like
coverage of the grand finals, and I was like,
deleterious
yeah,
mutations in the genome that you want to
like, and make sure people knew, like, I
identify
was gonna
using
do that
AI?
for sure, and it worked. I had like 10, 15 people. It's not like they missed out on any viewers. Their shit was straight. It went fine. It was cool. It was all straight. We all had fine. It was fine. Everything was cool. But literally, then the only reason I asked to get on the board, get on there to do that, then get torched for being on the board, and then hear people say that they don't want me on there and that I'm not allowed to be on there, and for no explanation at all. And I have to get removed, and then was removed. Even though I was planning on getting removed, I didn't ask to get removed. They removed
Mutations like in the alleles that lead to the gene being
cut from the team, like no real reason,
silenced.
Stuff like that, like
a lot of genetics now is epigenetics too, where a protein is made from several genes. It'd be really interesting to see.
You know, the person who's typing up these paragraphs,
Mutations
I don't even know why they don't like me so
wow.
much now. Like, all of a
Cool.
sudden,
Crazy.
I have 99 messages in my chat with dated proof of them being cool with me.
Yeah, I guess the mutation thing is like, what's the normal and what's the mutation? I guess there would be a threshold of the population having a 95% expression of one allele, and then the mutants being 5% or less of another one or something.
I don't know where. I just don't know where. Maybe he took the vampire meme a little too seriously.
Clone.
Maybe he thought
Wow.
he was included in that and just hated me for some random reasons of his own, because a lot of his friends do, and they felt attacked by that. That's exactly what fucking happened. You know, that's cool. Whatever. I can't help it that you're offended. I'm going to tell them that too. I can't help it that they think that it's about them. I didn't say it. They made it about them and then got mad about it. I don't know. What do you want me to say, dude? But I have 99 messages from one of the members that are supposedly mad at me, showing that they were cool with me otherwise. And I have 0 messages from the other one because I've never spoke to them in my entire life, so how could they hate me so much?
Wild.
I just need explanations for those things. Making videos, montages, paragraph, lurking in my stream, not logged into Twitch, recording it, saving the file hard saved on your computer. Like, how would you feel to have that happen to you? When in reality, I pose 0 threat to anything at all, and I'm literally just gaming, and people are just fucking kooky. Like,
yeah, the thing about cloning is the telomeres, right? In the DNA. Because if you're cloning old DNA, those telomeres are really shortened, and you're losing genetic information. You know what I mean? Are you going to rebuild the telomeres? How? With AI?
They fucking bother Randy all the time
Clone
too, don't they?
people in laboratories, right? But what genetic material are you going to start with? Modified gene. What gene are you getting genes for? So the thing with clones, right? With Dolly, is like, you remember Dolly, the 1997, the sheep that was cloned. Dolly actually passed away really early because of the fact that they took genes from like an adult, which are already kind of old with the telomeres. The telomeres are the ends of the DNA of the chromosomes that are actually broken down through time, through replication, as you age. So one of the issues with cloning is if the clone won't live very long because the DNA is already compromised and shortened because of the telomeres. I mean, I learned that from a textbook, but I think that's kind of, it's cloning reproductive. Therapeutic, interesting.
Where I never in a million years would have thought that people are that
What's therapeutic?
McDaniels that they would literally go to that extent. Did you think that I was thinking about that when I was making vampire memes? Yeah, I don't know what do I say on stream. But nobody's told me what I've said on stream. But I want to know what these things are. That's what I think. I think they're just fucking retarded for not telling me what they are. I don't know what these things are. I'm never racist. Like I don't know what these things are. You guys know that. I don't have to explain myself. But I've never used a slur. Never once. Never on stream. No sir. Not me. Couldn't be me, bro. I don't ever do that shit. Like maybe they heard the F word and the G word. They heard the F word and the G word and they got really offended by that. I can't help that. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it that way. I was just playing one of the shittiest video games of all time. What'd you think I was gonna say? Dude, this is awesome. I love this game. Whatever. I don't want my times to get banned. I don't want to have my name removed. I don't want that to happen. I just wish they would just leave me alone, dude. Really, realistically. But whatever I say on stream that is really that bad, please, by all means, please tell me. Because I hope Sean John has a list of these things. Because you can be certain that once I get this list of these things that they show me that they're going very public. And then everybody else can make the decider of what they think is really bad and what they didn't think. Promise you. No shot that they don't. Because I know what I say on my stream. I stream every fucking single day. Your guys are here every single day. Fucking retarded. I don't know why they don't just say what I said on stream that made them so crybaby. Like real shit, because honestly, I'm live every day. Every day I'm live. People are here. Every day I say the same shit. So I don't know what the fuck it is. Honestly, trust me, I'm my mom. If I did something that was fucking crazy and said like the gamer word or something really racist or something fucking psycho, I would remember and be like, oh fuck, that was really bad. I've never done that in my life. And I never will. Oh, dude, that was sick. Dude, that was a cookie conversation too. Dude, I can't wait to get back to skating this week. That'll be a great break. My God. Fuck. But you can be sure that I will be asking this kid for sure about these typed up paragraphs and their reason behind it and what these things are that were said. I must know. And I'm going to demand that I know. Like, I'm going to be like, dude, you must tell me. This conversation is fucking pointless if you don't tell me what I did wrong. Literally, still fucking pointless that everybody's speculating. Like, what, the all ECM thing, is that really it? I mean, really, what is it, dude? Don't be a fucking pussy, bro. Like, straight up, don't be a pussy. Like, what is it? What was it that hurt your fucking feelings, bro? Like, literally, whoever's fucking screen recording my stream again right now all day long, just privately DM me on your main account and tell me exactly what it was, bro. So I don't have to do this cringe-ass fucking conversation and be all awkward at 11:30 at night when I'm high on fucking drugs from my painkiller teeth and I'm tired. When you could literally just DM me yourself privately and we can handle that. Like, oh, I don't know. And, oh, dude, you know how easy it would have been? Dude, you could have messaged me personally. Like, bro, you're talking that fucking crazy fucking shit, bro. What the fuck is the matter with you, dogger? I'd have been like, where? What'd I say? And they would have copy and pasted the message that made me mad or sent me the clip of what I did personally. And I would have been like, oh, shit, my bad. Dude, no, I didn't. You could literally, like, you could, like, maybe through my, maybe that's what I meant. Yeah, through my stream it would be better. Yeah, no, it would be better if they just came through my stream, like, because I'm alive all the time. Like, I don't know, a Discord call privately, like, alone, like, just me and one person. Like, I don't know. It seems quiet. Like, it seems like I'm in like a giant cafeteria with like one person. Just kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't seem so private to me. It has that weird like feeling like, hey, dude, like, what's up, man? Nothing, dude. Just sitting here on my computer talking about Goldeneye and ghouls. Like, I'm in the principal's office. What about you, dude? Oh, nothing. I'm just doing the same, bro. Nice, man. Like, you could have just fucking came through my fucking stream and been like, yo, dude, I don't like what you said about me. That shit pissed me off and made me upset. I'd have been like, dude, I'm sorry. I really honestly did not mean to make you upset. Can we move forward now? Fucking Jesus fuck. Oh, like, no one's gonna attack you. Like, no one, my chat isn't gonna be like, dude, you're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy for fucking doing that shit to Dogger. My chat would never do that shit to you guys. Like, they would just not do that. They're not gonna fucking attack that person. What the fuck? Like dogs. I am not. But I mean, realistically, it will be easier to explain it in voice. Plus, with the tone of my voice and how well spoken I am, I'm pretty sure this kid's never spoke to me in my entire life. He's lurked here a couple times, but this kid's gonna be taken back by how chill I am, dude. I know he will be. He'll be like, damn, dude, how could the fuck? Why do these kids fucking hate this kid so much? Dude, I don't know. You ask them. Have them hit me up and ask me about it. I'm a pretty defenseful guy. I'm not really too offensive. Like, you know, I'm not really like, I don't just pick on fucking people and make fun of their stream titles. Sorry, I don't do that. I don't just roast players that suck. I don't roast players that are as good as me. I don't just pick fights with people. But when I hear and know that people that are saying things, joining sides, no real reason, they just pick on me. They don't like me. They just hate me. They got reasons. They got paragraphs typed up on me. What did you think I'm gonna be? Not defensive? Like, you... I know these kids want like me to be acting like the way I was in like 2020, but like I gotta go to work on Monday. It's not like 2020. It's not like I have another 3-4 months off paid every week, tons of money to just have drama with these kids. I don't have the time. Like, I have a lot of free time on my side free time, but I mean, I have to go to work. I have a life. Like, I have real things in real life that I'm stressed about. I cannot make this a main focus, and I'd like not to. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of just psycho to me. I like playing Goldeneye. I like Perfect Dark. Pretty much like the entire community. I get along with pretty much everybody, dude. There's very few people that I ever hear of that really don't like me, honestly. Like, and if they do, they usually revolve around that same circle. But I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. If you don't like me, that's fine. Don't watch my stream. Fuck off. I don't care. I don't watch yours. You know what I mean? GG rip. What am I supposed to say? I thought that was how it worked on every game and everywhere and everything in life. You just don't like certain areas of things. You just don't fuck around with certain things. You just stay away from certain things. You know what I mean? That's what I do. That's what a lot of people do. But I can understand, dude, if they don't want jokes made about him in Vampire, if they're insinuating that it's them, and, you know, they think because he's mentioning the council and he's calling us vampires, you know, this, that, and the other, and they're destroying the ECM thing, and why do you hate the council members, and this, that, and the other so much? I mean, I have years of proof and reasons, bro. Like, and then I have no proof for why one of the persons is like so anti at all. But I have proof of them being really, really chill with me very, very not long ago, within the last year. So, and then just suddenly disappearing and never being in my chat ever again. And then that was just GG rip. And then hearing nothing but rumors of bad shit, like, come from certain areas and stuff like that, like. You know, and it's like, another thing too is just because I'm not in the elite Discord doesn't mean things don't get out too. I just want them to leave. What I don't want anything at all. I want them to just literally drop it, leave it alone. I want them to tell whoever made all these paragraphs to either do one of two things or both things. Like, I don't care what you do. One, either literally the person that's really upset that typed up all these paragraphs and made these videos who's really upset to come forward privately to me, or come forward publicly and just say it was them and be honest, or just never speak to me and just fuck off and just let it die, dude. Like, and also I want to let them know too. I want them to tell this person that it was a joke. It was a joke. Joking. A joke. But I don't know if it was as big of a joke as you writing fucking paragraphs and making montages. And
that still doesn't solve the issue of the telomere reduction with yeah. So as
that was the biggest joke of them all.
I guess as people age and the replication of DNA occurs. Interesting, they say the somatic cell nuclear transfer. Right? Yeah.
Just don't touch
from the somatic cell. What specifically is the somatic cell?
Get 112, get on the stream charts.
If that's a stem cell of a human, it still has the reduced telomere length issue. I would say search it up. Telomere. Aging. Dolly the sheep lifespan. Why did Dolly the sheep clone die early? Telomere.
I just want to know what these things are too. Like, see how like yours is like, yeah, but that's not as bad as the things Dogger says.
I'm not hating. I'm saying if you could find a way for AI to rebuild telomeres
I thought the kid had bad English
based on AI, because the issue with rebuilding telomeres is you're trying to rebuild DNA. Instead of changing mutations are a good starting point in the alleles because it's already a framework, but you still, it's hard to say. That's why I said, what are you going to define mutation as? What's the normal? What is right? What is wrong? What needs to be changed? What needs to stay? And how do you define that? By number? What if it's like 50-50? Also, the epigenetics, that's another important word, right? That is the application. So genes, okay, proteins often require many genes to be made, right? So if you change the genome, of one gene, it might affect many proteins in a nonlinear fashion, in a nonlinear sense. If you're gonna apply AI to that, that would be really interesting.
He might just try to be a fucking dick. This might be like
my opinion.
Out of left field bullshit. Like, they might try to like.
So you still didn't say what therapeutic cloning is. That was my main question. So the reproductive cloning, that was like the telomere issue, right? The therapeutic cloning. What's that? Could you provide a definition of that? That'd be awesome, man. Thanks, dude. I'm so glad, man. Congratulations, exciting stuff.
That's definitely true. No doubt, that's true. That's hella true. I just wish we do it now, bro. Like, I don't want to do it at 10:30 at night. Oh yeah, no, he is. He's got like a wife and kids and shit. Imagine your kid, bro. Imagine your kid's just gaming and your kid's me, bro. And your kid gets sent fucking shit like about fucking literally paragraphs about fucking literally from some player, dude. How would you feel as a dad, bro? You'd be pissed too. He understands responsibility. True. Probably does. And I don't think he likes that I fucking torched him for it. And I didn't mean to like torch him for it, like on a scale like die, JD, die. It was just more along the lines, I think, of when he said like nobody cares anymore, laugh my ass off. I was just like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm literally talking to 4 people today that are mentioning the same topic. How the fuck can you say that? You're putting words in people's mouths. And I heard 5 people that I'm not going to throw under the... I heard 2 people that I'm not going to throw under the bus that literally said, who the fuck is this guy to literally put words in my mouth and anybody's mouth? Like, for real. Like, I'm not going to say who said that. I'm not going to say it, but it's so fucking true. And then they didn't like that I was live on my stream and say it. That's what I think they mean by that is not as bad as the stuff that Dogger says on stream. Dude, what are you talking about? The things I say on stream are true and hard to hear. It's like if things don't, like, if it's just, I don't know, it'd be weird. Oh, I'd hope he doesn't go out of pocket. It wouldn't be good on his part. Because I won't be going out of pocket. And I'll be recording the whole entire thing. No doubt. I think they would assume that I'd be doing that. I assume that they'd be doing that as well. I mean, I'm just under the assumption of those types of things. They probably will. But who knows? Maybe it'll be real chill, honestly. Maybe it'll be like, yo, what up, bro? Not a lot, dude, honestly. Kinda high. You think Sean John's ever skateboarded? Dude, if that kid skateboarded, it's a wrap, dude. He's a big Dogger fan. He'll be subbing in a week.
Alright, you might as well actually do the activity we said we were gonna do.
I'm gonna ask him, dude. I'm gonna be like, do you do anything like fun? Like, I mean, you got a wife and kids and shit like that, but I assume that you have like other life hobbies.
The bait and switch stream, yeah, right.
You didn't just only play in the elite non-stop robot style, right? See if he's like, oh yeah, dude, I used to skate. I'm like, oh, dude, that's sick, bro. I still skate all the time. That's crazy. Oh wow, that's kooky. Is he? Wow, it's GG Rip. Well, time for that man to just be GG Rippington. He'll be a Dogger fan before the end of the night. Dude, if they ask me, they'd be like, okay, well, GG's, everything's cool and stuff like that. Is there any outcome? Do you want us to do anything, you know, say anything to those, like, council members or anything in your honest? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Say nothing to them. Tell them I said, just tell them it went well, GG Rip. We're all leaving into the happy smileys. Leave me alone. Don't touch my times, please. That's it. I'm just going to be like, no, dude, no, I don't want to do anything. I don't have to tell them anything. No. Except for tell whoever's really was writing all those paragraphs that, like I said, you don't have to be that mad, man. I swear to God, I don't hate you that much. I don't even hate you at all. It's just a funny meme. I can't say it too many times. It's just a meme, right? We're just memeing out of our minds. But I mean, the match play thing being ran terribly was a widespread conversation that I feel like a lot of people had said. You know what I mean? And I mean, maybe it was multiple people's problems. I mean, it's not like only JD or whoever who was in charge of it was the only one. Like, I mean, fuck, there was problems right at the start. People submitting runs and stuff like that and just not even showing up for matches and shit like that that had nothing to do with him. Like, you know what I mean? There was just lots of wrongs there. No, whatever. It's no big deal. Literally, it's already over. It's GG. It got completed. It's over. Happened. It's a W McSwaggerton. I'll try to remember too. Also, like the Flash was like, you know, you talk a lot about all these ideas you have, and they all actually sound pretty good and stuff like that. I encourage you to use the message boards and post your ideas and this, that, and the other, like you did with clickable links and stuff. Like, you know, that's nice. But it's hard to explain. Like, it's like, yeah, but dude, doing that a lot of times, these kids fucking hate me, and they're not gonna let a lot of that shit happen, and they'll probably like strike down these ideas and like just try to like not like allow it to happen and rip on players for being in it and just be like cringe. And like, there's always that feeling. Like, I know how it is. I'm not stupid. That's the essence I get. That's the vibe I get. Like, they don't even want me to be on the stream board. Why would they want anybody to be in my match play tournament? Because my match play tournament wins the winner $200 in like fucking in literally like one weekend. It's the easiest $100 a day you've ever made in your life. You can buy 100 snacks with that, dude. You can buy so many snacks. Snacked up out your fucking good. Snackerton. But I'll give him the light of day. I have one thing. The only reason that I'm doing this, and like Clemens was like, you know, tell him fuck off. People are like, you shouldn't do that. I wouldn't talk to him. Da 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 da. The only reason that I'm doing it is because for a very long time I've had another meme in this chat. I used to meme about it with Kaidos and like, and like, and I've memed about it with a couple people. And yo, Kratos, by the way, I think I said what up, dude. I've always said, dude, I've never got a chance one time to sit down and talk to these council people, ever. I've never got a chance to talk to them one time, ever. Just sit and actually like talk to them. One or to him. Like the only time was with Woda's when he banned me. But like I've never like got to like sit and just like chat with one of them about like a couple of things and this, what they think, and like what I think. But they're going to be surprised by what I think, because what I think is pretty simple. Like, my way of thinking is very simple, considering the fact I do think it's just a video game and it's all kind of silly to do the whole entire thing in the first place. I'll be candid about that, but it's just like, I just think that it's like one of those things that's like, you know, I think you guys threatening me and taking what I say serious all the time, like, yeah, no, it's true. And two, not to mention all the messages I've already sent a couple of the people too. I've already told them, like, you know, how like I felt like. I am going to, but it'll be nice to be one-on-one in private, be able to like let them know, like, hey, dude, like, stream a lot. It just happens. Shit happens. I don't fucking know. So true. So true, dude. Is the conversation over? Do we even need to have it at this point? I think it was a GG rip. I think we all got a lot better through this. I'm glad that we all did. I'm sorry, and you're sorry too. We'll all apologize. I understand. It's all over now. I'll just tell them in this conversation that I'll go back to picking on Mario Kart 64 speedrun community. Is that fair? How about every single time that I reference the vampires, I'm speaking about Mario Kart 64 community and maybe other speedrun communities, but no one directly, because that would be bannable offense number 16238 1A. Perna, dude, get out of my chat, bro. You can't be here, honestly. I'm going to be banned pretty soon. You don't want to be speaking to banned user X. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to end it all for everyone. Good night, brother. See you later, boy. Cap, I kid. I'll never be banned. Ban one, ban all. Dude, Perna, I hope your team, or who's the other team? Your team or Samo's team are the winners of League this year. Those are the two teams I'm supporting. Honestly, I hope your team wins. Samo's team's pretty good too, though. I need that Google Doc again. Oh, never mind. I have it. Bro, what is this? Ah, that's true. Yeah, this one I can see has been getting uploaded, I think, a little slow. I'd imagine the very updated, up-to-date, non-stop, up-to-date version is in the Discord, correct? Is that updated? Well, that's good to know. Got it. A lot of PBs for sure. Dodged a few infiltration essay PBs. I mean, bops right there for sure. I did lose like 4 points though. Oh. GG rip. This stick is so fucked. I need some fucking... Where's that fucking wax at? It's the only savior I have. Fucking rip, dude. Thank God I didn't get drafted to a league team this year. Fuck. Fucking worthless at this fucking game at this fucking point, dude. Jeez. B-Rose. B-Rose is a nice guy. Dude, imagine ripping on B-Rose and Zach Mulak. Crazy. You'd have to have no heart. Oh, don't worry. I already have that wrote down in my notes. Ripping on B-Rose and ripping on B-Rose's stream title and ripping on Zach Mulak, but the things I say on stream are much worse. I'd like to know what these things on stream are that are much worse than saying that fucking Zach Mulak can't spell and can't fucking talk and he's like all these fucking crazy fucking things, making fun of B-Rose's stream titles. I mean, that's literally beyond psychotoxic. Like, that's so toxic, dude. That's the definition of like CS:GO toxicity. Like, that's crazy. That's a little bit more kooky than just being like, yeah, you ran match play like shit. What of it? Like, seriously, like, come on, bro. Like, the two aren't on the same spectrum. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And then getting singled out for things like that while other people never get spoke to and it never gets like light brought to it. You never hear anybody publicly get like hound those players who say shit like that. Like, it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I think they think like things from the Elite Discord don't get leaked. Parents in for a surprise. Oh yeah, there is. The shit that I hear that comes out of the Elite Discord from some of these players is pretty toxic. Like, and I'm just like, damn, it's unfortunate. Considering that I would never say any of that shit to any fucking buddy. Like, and that shit's wild. So, like, dude, but I will say though, the thing about like Will getting married over the Zoom call, dude, like that was kooky, dude. Like, there was like 7 people here laughing at that joke. Yeah, dude, I don't know why that was so funny. I don't know why that shit was so funny, bro. Dude, I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know why that joke came up. I don't even know what that was. Dude. Like, I was talking about Will or something, like his timesheet or something like that. I don't even know how he got in that conversation. I don't remember what we were talking about. Something about like a time or something. It just went that way. I don't know how. It just. Oh, and then we got on the topic of the love is real. Yeah, that's right. It was the hashtag. Serious resolution attempt made the other week. Everyone in this combo should die. Dude, who said that in the elite Discord? Somebody said that. Dude, that's loony. Yeah, she said the love is real thing. And then somebody said something about him getting married. Dude, that kid's cracked. And a council member agreed. I'm guessing, let me guess, it was either JD or Will. It couldn't have been the other 3 unactive ones in the normal boxing. Or was it, no, actually, I take it back. I take it back. It was Boss. I can't believe it. It was Boss and fucking Lotas. How could they have said such a thing, dude? How could they agree on such a thing, dude? So bad, dude. The other one in the... Yeah, yeah. The thing, yeah, it's tough, dude. I believe in you guys. I hope you guys do win. You forgot the other one in the click. Who, your Reese? Yeah, you never know these days, dude. You just don't know. I like the kid, but I like the kid. He saved my ass like one time, like, so I don't know why he'd be like so pressed this time. Oh, BK. It's like, cause Reese is like saved my ass, like. BK, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. He is friends with those kids, though. Although I have heard Will rip on him all the time. There's absolutely no way that I lose to Sean John himself. You met Puff Daddy? The Sean John? Is that him? Fall 2007, Sean John, closed for Kings. Should I send this picture to Sean John right when the conversation starts? Hey, Dogger, what's up, man? Send him this picture. Sup, Sean John? It'll be like, dude, this guy is literally retarded. But he's gonna be like, dude, this guy Dogger, man, he's literally fucking mental. Wait, Burnham met Sean John hella recent. The Burnham Sean John meet. No way, did it really happen? Was it real? Holy shit. That's pretty kooky McJimmy. Oh, that's Tommy? Wait, that's Tommy and who? Who the fuck is that? I'm literally lost. Irie met Sean John? Oh, for real? Dude, I'm about to meet Sean John tonight too, boys. Hey, Sean John. So Tommy met Sean John. Wait, so Sean John isn't a Zoomer. So you mean that he's a relatable human being, eh? This could be really damn. Is that two Kooky McJimmy Johns to assume? Dude, that would be cool. What if I literally go into the voice call and it's actually just an Ace ult? Or what if I go into and it's actually a JD Black ult? And he's like, hey, fucker, you're banned forever. And then I just cry my eyes out. No! I'm gonna tell them, like I said though, if you guys ban me forever, I'm gonna jump off the Empire State Building and end my life, so you guys will be the cause of suicide, so I guess it's best if you just don't do that. kidding. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. Dude, yeah, Pernal will just drive by, literally hop out the car, literally, got you, brother. Catches me at the bottom. He's like, dude, turns out that they didn't ban you. Oh, wow, that was all a big waste. Thank God you were there to catch me. No, they threatened to ban me, and then I jump off the Empire State Building to end it all. Perna catches me. He's like, dude, they aren't going to fucking ban you after all. And I'm like, wow, that was all worthless. And then they're like, they're actually going to promote you to the president of the elite. Wow, that's cool. Another person gets toxic. Another person threatens, I'm going to jump off the Empire State Building if you ban me. Then they jump off the Empire State Building, and somebody else is there to catch them. And they're like, dude, it wasn't them. They were going to promote you to the fucking council member. Then they get promoted, and then somebody else does the same. And then it just never ends. And that's how they select these members. So I must be next. I'd be so pissed. I'd be absolutely sick. Those folk, dude, people have, I won't lie, people have definitely said that. They're like, dude, it's Ace. Ace did it. Ace made the video. Ace. That was Ace. Dude, it's Ace lurking in your chat, bro. Ace exaggerated all the memes, and they fucking blamed it on you. It's Ace. Like, what the fuck? People are hounds. I've been told that by a couple people. And I'm like, dude, I can't help it if Ace thinks the memes are funny and says them in his chat and repeats them. And they question where they came from. And it's me who made them. It's not like Ace ratted me out. It's like, dude, Dogger made all the memes. I'm just saying them. He's the one behind blame. I literally said it on my stream. I made up all the memes. I did. Everyone knows that. Now. I can't help it if everybody said the same thing about match play and agreed with me. I can't help it that people said Vampire. And I can't help it that people said Cookie W and Cookie McDaniels and Cookie McJimmy Johns. I can't help. I'm not going to be able to help it either. I hope they know that. I cannot. I don't know. I can't help what people say. It'd be one thing if I were saying the N-word or something, Cookie McJimmy John, racist and shit, and that my chat was repeating that. And we were like this Nazi hate group of racist fucking pieces of shit. Then we would be on a totally different spectrum, and this would all be maybe worth time. But realistically, I mean, it's pretty obvious that's not what's happening here. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what it is. In my opinion, it would have to be like that. It's kooky to be worth even having this discussion about. Like, you'd have to be on, like, some kooky shit. Some silly shit. There's a Mammal 69. What's up, bro? How are you, Mammal? Yep, stuck again. Oh yeah, there was one of those groups at one point in time, I'm pretty sure, wasn't they? Yeah. They went Nazi racist inner Discord chambers. Yeah, I mean, you could just look up Goose history and I mean, I could have the biggest leaker of all time in my Discord. You would never be able to find anything like that. But, or in my chat or anything like that, really. I mean, my Discord's pretty dead. It's usually talking about movies and fucking memes and jokes, nothing. Like, I talk about everything here publicly. That way I can always have this as, like, you know, proof. Dude, I'm good, man. Pretty alright. Well, not really. Well, not really. But somehow, some way, I honestly feel like everything's fine. I'm just chilling. But I just got my wisdom teeth pulled out. That fucking sucked. My car tires were kind of fucked up this morning, but they got fixed, so that was kind of stressful for a bit. Missed a whole week of work because my face is in pain. Spent a lot of money on the surgery and my eyes that I had to get contacts for, and the eye doctors that I had to go get my new prescription. The elite council hates my fucking guts. But honestly, I'm not in a bad mood at all. But I'm looking to change that today. I'm looking to get to a new ground today. I'm going to the city hall to make my proposal, like the Illusion did when he went to Malibu and told them they were pieces of shit for investing in a bunch of garbage but no skate parks or something fucking kooky. I remember when he went to the skate park, the Illusion. Never forget when the Illusion went to the skate park and they were shut down the skate park at Venice so Shaun White could do like a commercial there, and he's like, why can't I skateboard here? I wanted to skate. And the Mexican kid's like, nope, Shaun White's here today. He's like, oh, because of Shaun White? He's like, yeah. He's like, what's Shaun White doing here? And the kid was like, yup, we paid Shaun White $5,000. He's going to come here today and he's going to do some tricks and make a commercial. He's like, oh, $5,000? And then he like turns the camera around. He goes, hey, Shaun White, fuck you. I wanted to skateboard today. And then like some random California dude's like, yeah, Shaun White's a fucking kook. They're like, fuck you, Shaun White. And then this kid's just like standing there. I was like, dude, the Illusion. It was epic though. It was seriously epic. That shit is crazy. That is boogie. But yes, no, for sure. I'm gonna go to the fucking city hall tonight. Yeah, thank you fucking for sure. Oh yeah, it's kooky. It's in his video somewhere. I gotta get it. Actually, I'll get it right now. I know exactly where it is. Randomly. But yes, Mammal, I definitely will. Dude, the wisdom teeth, I am feeling a lot better though, and then other than that, man, I've been skateboarding a lot. It's been nice out every single day. Right here. Right here. Here, I'm gonna play it actually.
By bulldozers as we speak. Those story poles are up all on down to the exit. And down for them. Yes. So what's this skate park closed down for? What's this skate park closed for?
It's closed for Shaun White.
For Shaun White? Where's Shaun White?
What they paid a fee already for.
How much you pay to rent the skate park up?
$5,000.
$5,000.
Closed down.
Really? So all these people get to go home and not have any fun?
Yeah, we actually set up postings.
Yeah.
Closed for a week, so.
It's closed for a week.
No, we have them up for a week. It's closed just for today.
Really?
10 to 7.
10 to 7. Public skate park closed. $5,000 for Shaun White. Shaun White, this is the Illusion. Fuck you, dude. Because I wanted to go skate today, bro. Fuck you. Shaun White's a fucking kook. Oh, that's the hottest, dude. They're shutting it down to let a bunch of scooter guys and penny board riders roll around, dude.
Fucking
There's
tell
some
them.
BMX bikers around here, too. Kick the kids out to film a scooter ad? Oh, and longboards. This is complete sellout, dude. This is why skateboarding's gonna die. It's
For
this kind
sure.
of nonsense, man.
He's
Shutting
right.
down a skate park so you can put scooter dudes to film an ad? What the fuck is wrong with this picture, people? Dude, look. It's even dudes from Malibu making money on this project, bro. Right there. Dude. Everybody's getting paid, but the skateboarders
Look at this kid right here.
Typical.
Dude, that kid, I love that kid.
See this project. Right there. But the skateboarders getting sent home. Typical.
Oh my god, that's just actually kooky. Hold on. I'm going to send you a pic from a combo from 1.5 million years ago. I feel like you might need this for some old contact, but don't share it on stream. Yeah, you can send it wherever you can send it, just so you can whisper it to my whispers or something like that. I won't. I don't think that ever happened, though. Hey, you want to know why this never happened, which I'm not going to speak of? The thing that they're accusing me of saying back in 2021. Because that's just now my kind of like I may say I might say the first part of that, but the second part of that isn't my style. Like I don't say stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty GG. But yeah, no, I will keep this just in case. But that's pretty kooky. I'm still going to beat his ass at Mo Am 2. Was he speaking of me? Dude, I wouldn't even I wouldn't show up to Mo Am 2 in your wettest of wet dreams. You gotta be kidding me. That's kooky. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait. Honestly, I really am excited to get the conversation rolling. And I probably will do voice. I'm in the mood. Too bad I don't got any fucking booze. I'd get drunk as fuck and just go in there and be like, you guys are a bunch of fucking retarded fucks. I'm Just kidding, I wouldn't do that. I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I'm even more reasonable when people hit me up the way that like Sean John did. I like that a lot. You know, it's super easy. Like you know, and I want it to be like, oh yeah, I hit him up and he had no problem talking to me at all. I'd like that to be the, you know, not, yo, I hit him up. It was hard to get a hold of him. It was hard to talk to him. He was hard. He wasn't really, you know, I've been willing to talk for days. And you think it's that person, or do you think the one, did you originally think that the person writing the paragraphs was that person? You know why that also isn't true? Because user X would never laugh at that. And I would never say that to that player. It could be, you know. It really could be. It could be for sure. But the thing that makes that whole thing unbelievable is I would never say that to Callie. Callie isn't the type of like I talk to Callie like all the time. He's really busy with school, but traditionally I talk to him like every day. Like he's been in my Discord for years, dude. I talk to him like every fucking single day. And there's just like those types of jokes. One, they're not my style. I wouldn't say them like that. I may say stuff esque that, but that's not how I would say it ever. I would never say that, and that's just weird. And plus, Callie, I would never say that to Callie. Like, he's not like the type, like, it's not nothing against him, but like, that's just not like the person I would say that joke to ever. And he would never CAC W to something like that. And I would never say that. And he knows that. And for him to get accused of CAC W to something like that, like, that'd be kind of kooky, like, you know. I've never seen it in my life. You know, to be honest, throughout time, the kid's been one of the most, you know, pretty neutral-sided people ever. I mean, he's been on my side about a lot of things that I've been right about, and he's backed me when it mattered, but he's a pretty neutrally sided person. As, he's got a very PR team type way of speaking, and he's very, very calculated about what he says, when he says it, and where he says it. He's not dumb. But it could be true, you know, you could be right. You know, there's other reasons why it could be that user as well. That could be the one who's been doing it. There's skill reasons, if you catch my drift. I mean, I may not have as many world records as these players, but I get the ones that matter to their heart. I don't do it on purpose. I didn't know he liked the level that much. What, do you think it was going to stay that way forever? He did say that, although there was, User X did say in the chat 2 days before I got 112. 112 untied forever, and then he put in quotes, "This is not true." I said, very big if true. Very big. Callie told me that he was probably lurking at times during that grind, but I mean, the grind was very off stream for a lot of it. The parts that really mattered, that second week was pretty off stream. And in like private, I did it all. There's no way that anybody's seen me doing it. Only a few people seen those runs, and especially the day that I played. But when he set, and that was that second week. I was like 2 days before I got it. And he wasn't saying anything to me in particular, but Callie had said something about like, he's like, dude, play kooky and then pray for luck at the end. He's like, that's kind of my kind of level. And Will had mentioned in Callie's chat about 112, he had said, now 112 takes a ton of skill and takes a ton of knowledge. Like, it takes more than you think. It takes more than, you know, it's not something you could just pray for and this and the other. And he's not wrong. I don't think he meant that directed towards me or anything like that. He's not wrong. I know what he was trying to say. He's right. Honestly, he is right about that. But, yeah, it was like 2 days later I had got it. And at the time that he had said it, I didn't say anything. All I said was, yeah, very big if true. Because at that time when I was playing off stream, dude, I was playing so good, dude. I was literally getting a chance like every day. Like, it was seriously fucking, I was getting multiple chances. It was seriously so fucking crazy. Like, every hour I was getting fucking chances with that strat that I was using. That works. True. You know, realistically, if you were to want to ask me, you want me to be unbiased and real? If we were both be in the conversation, me and the two users that are in speculation, and like Sean John as a neutral, like between the two, if we were all being a voice call, I think it would go very differently. But you know what would be interesting is the zero lack of proof between both parties at all the shit talking that has gone on through like time. Like, nobody has saved too much of that. Well, except for the recent video, I guess that'd be the only thing, or whatever. The recent proof. 2000. Wait, hold up. Just want to look at something real quick too. $12,521. Wow, this is way before I got unbanned too. This is like right after I defected from the fucking elite and from the internet, from the earth, from the matrix. But I will be using this image because that, you know why I'll be using this image? And I won't be telling them where I've obtained this image. But you know why I will be using it? Because that image shows the pure reason that I come up with the term vamps. Because it's true. They would never get rid of that player, you know what I mean? No matter how toxic. And that mindset is soaring through their fucking, you know, through their veins, like, and that's where it all comes from, man. Like, I want this dude to understand that it's not just me who feels that way, dude. It's very evident that people don't agree with, like, the way that it's so cult-like ran, like, and they don't agree with that I get picked on a lot. It's fucked up. Getting better at that ending, at least. That runs cringer level cringe. You don't speak English, you just type English. That's pretty smart. You speak only what? Portuguese, Spanish, fucking Mexicano. I don't even know what language you speak, bro. One likes their own accent, bro. Except for Americans, bro. Americans love the way they talk, dude. Shot, this shit's fucking shot. They love that shit, dude. Americans, that's why they're always making up new slang terms every 5 seconds. They're obsessed with how they talk. New Yorkers, dude, they love coming up with new words and saying shit and talking all day and just talking and how they talk, and they make up all these weird noises and stuff. They're weird. Very strange. You ever met a New Yorker? They're kooky. Except for Perna. Brazilian sounds silly. Wow, Joey's racist against English-speaking Brazilians. He's gonna kill him. I'm gonna let the fucking council know you're a racist tonight. Oh 2018. Oh shit. Welcome, Matt. Dude, I gotta be tier 1. I'm the best. I'm tier 1. I'm tier 1. Best stream ever. Best streamer voice. Best streamer layout. Best streamer sidebar. Best streamer in the elite. Best PD streamer. Most consistent PD streamer. Just gonna be walking home with consistent legendary goals. Fucking greatest legend ever. Stop. One time they did this like top tier streamers in the elite, and I didn't even make the list. I couldn't believe my eyes. I said, surely not the guy averaging 25 viewers watching me get Debo warp attempts. Oh. Transform. Yeah, I think Alka got really upset when I called him bro. He called me ma'am. So I corrected myself and said, sorry, miss. I'm gonna be politically correct and very nice. Next time I see Alka in the chat and he says, yo, what up? Which he never will. I'm gonna say, sup, Mrs. Alka. Dude, one time I yelled at Alka for that. Because he came in my chat with some super douchebag comment. I don't remember what it was. He used to say them every day. Came in my chat with some super douchebag comment. And I literally looked at the camera and put it on full screen like this, and I literally looked at the camera and I was like, dude, have you ever went into a chat in your entire life and said, yo, bro? Or like said like, what's up, man? Or like, how was your day? Or like anything. Have you ever not just went into a chat and just typed out some fucking autistic, retarded fucking comment? Some fucking out of left field, stingy, rude, unsolicited advice? I was like, are you just like diseased in the fucking head? Say hello, dude. Like, I was like, is it so hard? Are you so like socially fucking devoid? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, he's been banned here for years. He'll never be unbanned here. I can't take Alka serious. Everything he says pisses me off. Same with Dick. They just drive me fucking crazy. When they literally type, I get angry. So I avoid them. I have this theory that they have their brains like somehow like technologically hooked up to their keyboards, and they just like whatever they're like to their computers, and whatever they do, they just like think, and it just types it and sends it automatically. So they don't have any filter. It just comes directly from their brain through the keyboard to the computer, just sends it. Inner monologue? What did he say to that? Probably doesn't, because he says everything and doesn't have any filter at all, just like Dick. He doesn't have an inner monologue. He's not thinking inside like first. He just it's like a machine from the brain out the mouth to the keyboard, from the brain to the keyboard to the chat. It's loony.
Hey everyone, this is Adam Ellenboss from Nightlight Astrology. Happy Friday, everybody. Today we are going to take a look at the healing benefits of a grand water trine, which is coming through today. We have the moon in Scorpio connecting with Venus in Cancer and both connecting with Neptune in Pisces, all around the exact same time, about as close as you can get to an exact grand trine between three planets. Really beautiful configuration in the element of water. So we're going to talk today about that grand trine and 5 benefits of the grand water trine, as well as 5 insights. I guess you could call them, I don't know if they're lessons or insights or reflections, themes, kind of all rolled into one. So anyway, that will be our work for today. And as always, before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share some comments in the comments section, especially if you have some unique insights or stories to contribute. If you have a specific story to contribute that's in line with the transit, use the hashtag grabbed. Tell us the transit and then tell us your story. We'll be doing some storytelling episodes over the summer, and we're trying to gather a bunch of really good transit stories for those episodes. So thank you for that in advance. You can also head over to the website, nightlightastrology.com, to sign up for our upcoming course. Ancient Astrology for the Modern Mystic begins on June 11th. This is a 1-year course in ancient Greek Hellenistic astrology, blended together with some modern archetypal psychology and astrology. It is a fantastic program for people who have an interest in launching your own professional astrology practice, reading charts for other people. But it's also a great program for people who just love astrology and want to take their own interest and hobby study of astrology to the next level, become more proficient in understanding what your chart is saying. There's 30 classes on the year. They're all webinars. They're all held live. You can attend live, or you can follow along with the recordings on the class website. Everything on the class website is downloadable, so you can keep everything and take it at your own pace. We have a bunch of guest lectures that come outside of those 30 classes. We have an interactive group forum discussion staffed with tutors. You can always ask questions. We have tutoring breakout study sessions in between major units of study, so you can get a little additional support if you need it. Tons of bonus reading, listening, and assessment options that you can use to deepen your knowledge. So the class is really designed so that you can go as deeply or as topically as you want. At the bottom of the page, you'll find the enrollment options. We are coming up on the deadline to enroll, with the class starting very soon now. So you can join using the early bird payment, saves you $500 off. You can spread the payments out over 12 months, or you can use need-based tuition assistance. We do have a few spots available still. So if you have the need or desire to, or if you need a little help and you have the desire to study astrology, please use the need-based tuition assistance. We are very glad to work with people to make sure that studying astrology is not for only one type of person and one type of income bracket. So just use that if you could use a little help. Any questions at all about the program or enrollment or tuition assistance, email us info@nightlightastrology.com. All right, well, it's a really rare configuration. We're going to talk about 5 benefits of the grand water trine. These could be lessons or insights. These are the kinds of things that I have observed over time when it comes to the healing effects of some of these planetary combinations, especially given the element of water. But let's take a look at it on the real-time clock first. You can see that I'm going to actually get this to as so right here, this is about 6 p.m. Central Time, Friday, June 2nd. That's today. And you can see that Venus is exactly configured to Neptune in a trine, and then the moon in Scorpio is just a degree behind. So the trine, the grand trine is not exactly perfectly exact, but if you take this forward even just a little bit, like you're going to find that by about 8 p.m. Look at this. I mean, this is just beautiful. Here's the moon at 27 Scorpio. Here's Venus at 27 Cancer. And here's Neptune at 27 Pisces. And they are all, I mean, that is a total of, like 10 minutes of a degree separating them all. So this evening, we have a grand water trine. Effectively, this is a grand, you don't get closer than this. And to me, it's like, if you can't call this a grand water trine, then you're never going to see one, So I call it a grand water trine, and I'm really looking forward to the experience of this grand water trine, because I believe that water, of all the elements, is often associated with our bonds and our relationships, the complications, the pain, and the healing benefits and potential of a grand water trine is therefore really profound, because trines are of the nature of Jupiter, which means supportive, beneficial, uplifting, gracious, redemptive. And then water, so healing. When all of these planets are configured through trines, you get this almost just like like a beautiful waterfall that you're standing under and receiving the healing blessings and benefits of. Now, the moon is in its fall in Scorpio. It's a little bit of a heavy place for the moon, but configured to Neptune and Venus in Cancer, I just get the feeling of a very deep, a little bit painful, but ultimately beneficial configuration of planets that are suggesting that emotional catharsis, release, surrender, soothing, nurturing, devotional qualities, and almost like you get the feeling of like a cosmic salve that's in the air with this one. So I'm very optimistic about this one, and I want to tell you the 5 benefits of these planets getting together in water signs. Now, I would translate this as the healing potential. So when I say healing potential, I don't mean that this will automatically happen. It requires some effort on our parts, but in the same way that a sunny day is an ideal day to go and do something in the sun, a grand water trine, you could say, is an ideal psychic weather front in which to heal, soothe, and mend or relate to ourselves and other people in a way that's healing. So let's talk about the 5 benefits of the grand water trine. Number 1. When Venus, Neptune, and the moon are all configured in water, there's the opportunity is there for us to do something really special. I'm going to reflect about some things that are somewhat personal, but I'll also reflect on what I've heard from my clients and stuff like that. My wife and I recently went and saw Seal, the musician. And it was really interesting because I'm not like the world's biggest Seal fan, but I do like him. And I thought, well, he's coming to town and he's playing in this small theater. So just have like a really intimate experience seeing someone like Seal, to me, was like appealing enough to get some tickets. During the show, he took a moment to pause and talk about mental health. I so deeply appreciated it. And what he said was, he said, he said, isn't it true that so many of us are dealing with anxiety and depression, or both? And everyone in the audience was like, yes, and he said, one of the things that we can do is to stop blaming ourselves or to stop blaming other people for the feelings that we have, and to simply choose to move closer in love to the people and things we love. To say, yeah, I have a lot of reason to feel hurt. I have a lot of reason to feel anxious. I have a lot of reason to feel depressed. Completely valid. Not an invalidating thing at all. To also take a moment to say, but I'm going to set those things down right now, and I'm going to move closer to my child, my lover, or my friend, or myself, or the things that I love, the art that I love, the practices that I love, the subjects that I love, the activities that I love. That we can just set aside the hurt, that it's not off limits, because we're going to pick it back up soon enough. And it doesn't invalidate the hurt. It doesn't invalidate that people have hurt us or that people have done really crappy things to us. To say, yeah, but for now I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to love something or someone more. I'm going to move closer to the people and things I love. That is one of the most healing things we can do for depression and anxiety. It's not the only thing we can do. It's not the answer. It's an answer that can help. And when he put it that way, when he was sort of saying it this way, and he said it in his own rock star Seal way, but I was just so touched because I'm reminded of something. This is, I think probably lots of people have dealt with this. When kids came into the picture, there was a little part of me that felt like my wife is now more invested in, the kids than in me. There was like a little, and I've talked to a lot of my friends who are fathers, and I think it's very possible that anyone could feel this way, that when kids come into the picture, you feel like your primary relationship is being threatened on some level. And I remember feeling like, when I feel threatened by something, when I feel like that, it's easy for me to think, well, my wife should have to solve that problem and come toward me and make sure I'm okay, and stuff like that. And it's embarrassing to admit that I can be petty. There's nothing my wife was doing that was actually damaging or neglectful or anything like that. It's just a sensitivity and a worry and an anxiety that comes from my own trauma, my own background, and so forth. But I remember this moment specifically when I had to say to myself, it's what I'm going to do, rather than holding on to this feeling that my bond is being threatened by the children and all of their needs, is I'm going to step closer to my wife, to my kids. I'm going to step closer to these things. I'm going to move closer to them and set aside the hurt that I feel and the desire that I feel to make this my wife's problem, or distance myself with some kind of self-righteousness or whatever. There's choices that we have to make like that in relationships, and that's just one example, right? Where you can feel hurt or neglected or abandoned in some way, by a friend or by a lover or by a parent or whatever. And don't get me wrong, there's a million cases of people being seriously mistreated, abandoned, and neglected, right?
2 hours.
There's also
Cool, man.
times where the
I'm
best
gonna
the-
sign
really
off
the
in like
best
15
move
minutes or so.
is
I'm
to
going to,
say,
maybe less. I'm
rather
almost
than
on
trying to
my
protect
lifting stream, man.
myself
But
and
nice day here, buddy.
sort of shift the focus onto someone else that's not doing something right in order to make me feel better or make me feel a certain way that I'm not feeling right now. We just set that aside and we say, I'm just going to step closer to that person. I'm going to say, how can I serve you? How can I love you? Because sometimes doing that is the healing that we need for our own sense of hurt that we're feeling. It's like, just, I set aside my blame and I move closer to the people and things and subjects that I love. I say, okay, I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling neglected, I'm feeling like I'm missing something. But for right now, rather than making the source of the problem something or someone else, I'm just gonna try this on for size. Maybe the remedy for the hurt I'm feeling is to love someone, is to love something, an act of love, an act of service, an act of intimacy, an act of moving closer to someone and something. That is kind of a surrender involved in that. I think it is one of the most courageous things we can do. And don't get me wrong, again, there are going to be situations in relationships where you really can't do that, because you would be harming yourself to go closer to people who are doing nothing but hurting you, right? But you know what I'm talking about. We're in a relationship with someone who really does care about you. One of the best things you can do when you feel hurt or neglected or harmed in some way by that person is to love them more and just temporarily set aside your hurt or your grievance. I find what's amazing, like in my own relationship, and I wish Ashley was actually going to come on and do this one with me today, but we got crossed wires with all the kids' schedules today. So maybe we'll come on and do a similar talk at some point about, it was owners of a yoga studio for 10 years. We worked a lot with couples and talking about, how do you create a lifestyle that's conducive to cooperative spirituality as a couple. We did workshops and stuff like that. So maybe sometime she'll come on and talk with me about this. But there's a way when I'm like, you know what, I have some grievances. I'm going to set those aside and just be like, how can I serve, my wife, or what can I do to create more intimacy right now or more closeness? And it's amazing how when you're with someone who cares about you, that when you move closer to them, they immediately become more aware of and more attentive to your needs and your hurts. And it's like so regularly we think I have to defend and protect my own self-interest. But when you're with someone who actually cares about you, and it's a semi-healthy relationship, I mean, not perfect, but you're not with someone who's harmful. You're with a human being that is a good soul. That it's amazing how setting aside your self-interest and moving toward them will end up getting your own needs met in return so much more quickly than defending your own self-interest will. That is a lesson of water. That is a Venus-Neptune lesson. And the hurt that we feel and the tendency to want to hold on to it and protect our own self-interest and say, I'm not coming toward you. You owe me something. I'm the one who's hurt here. be such a Scorpio moon position to take. But when the Scorpio moon comes in contact with Venus and Neptune, it's like there's an opportunity to release the digging the heels in the mud, to release that position, that posture, and say, I'm going to set this aside and move toward you. And in doing that, trust that my needs will be met, that I will be seen. And it's, to me, it's not like you do it because your ulterior motive is to get something for yourself. It's a true act of surrender and service and sort of selflessness in love. And when you do that in the name of intimacy, it's amazing what can get accomplished. So to me, that's the first thing I want. And the biggest thing I really wanted to talk about today is I see that as the opportunity of a grand water trine. And I think of Seal standing on the stage being like, let me just take a moment to talk to you all about our mental health. Can we take even just a few moments to set aside the hurt, which is so real, and say, let me love more. Let me move closer to the things and people I love. That will heal us. Sometimes along the way, we have to get to a stage where we have healthy people in our lives that's even an option to do with. That might be the first step. Anyway, number 2 is I move into my fear of closeness. I've been reading a fantastic book lately. It's just, I'm really enjoying it. And I don't, you know me, I like to tell you guys about the books I read. And I'm going to, let me just put it up on I'll put it up on the screen here. It's a fascinating book that talks a lot about what I feel like when I read this book, I was like, this is something I wish I would have read a while ago. It's a really nice lens through which to understand a lot of what my clients deal with in family backgrounds that are filled with trauma. This book has been very helpful in that respect. Anyway, the book I've been reading is called Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents: How to Heal from Distant, Rejecting, or Self-Involved Parents. Now, I'm not here to say, after suggesting that we set aside our blame and move closer to people that we love, that we should sit and blame every last thing that's happened to us on our parents or our childhood. But the truth is that for a lot of us, the kind of emotional attention that we received or didn't receive, whether emotions were modeled to us as dangerous things or things to be avoided or things that were a nuisance, or we were taught that having emotions was selfish, there are generational traumas, and water runs deep. Water almost always as an elemental family speaks to ancestral patterns that run deep into the fabric of our social existence in families, communities, groups, races, ethnic and religious communities. Water runs deep. Water is collective, and water gathers and pools us together with other human beings on a symbolic level. So I think it's very valuable to try to understand, as I have through things like Al-Anon, which is for family members, families with alcoholism in it, or in this case, a book like Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. We can understand that so much of what we deal with is not purely resting on our own our own merits or our own shortcomings, but is related to gifts and curses that come pouring down the line like tributaries running down to the ocean. It's good to understand where our relationship with emotions and with the way that we bond and attach to other human beings comes from and what it's been informed by. So I've really enjoyed this book because it lays out not just one pattern or one way of thinking about issues that can come up in relationships, family relationships, relationships between parents and kids, or between spouses. It's a way of thinking about how we relate to other people based on the kind of emotional intelligence that was taught to us or that wasn't taught to us growing up. And I've found in reading this that I have a lot more empathy and understanding, not blame, of where I came from and where my parents came from and so on, because it's generational, right? One of the things that can come up with a grand water trine, especially one that has the moon in Scorpio, is that some of us are going to have the experience that emotions or emotional intimacy is scary. And that moving, but this grand water trine can invite healing insofar as it says, why don't you try moving into and closer to your own inner life, your own emotional states? Like really feel what you feel and allow those emotions to exist. Something else that Seal said when he was on stage was, he said, we're just beings. And I thought it was like such a profound thing to hear Seal say, you know, we're just beings, and it's okay to allow ourselves to just feel whatever we're feeling, anxiety, depression, whatever. Another thing that we can do, in other words, to deal with hurt is to just allow ourselves to feel it. So much of the time we think, you know, hurt is bad, hurt is wrong, I have to get rid of it, I have to solve it. But sometimes we don't have to solve it at all, we just have to be with it. And you guys know this. I'm not saying anything probably any of you don't know. Sometimes it just helps to hear someone else say it. So number 2 on my list is I move into my fear of closeness. Closeness could be with a person, it could be with your own emotions. But this grand water trine offers us the feeling that actually if you move into your feelings, if you move into your body and the wisdom of your body, if you allow yourself even just a little bit of the experience of what is living inside of you, some of the trauma or some of the hopes and wishes, if you move into closeness and vulnerability with other people, that there's something deeply rewarding about that, that we find a kind of strength in that vulnerability in allowing ourselves to feel and allowing ourselves to be close with other people. I think that these are like the ABCs. I feel like Mr. Roger teaches this kind of stuff. I don't feel like this is profound wisdom on my part. I feel like this is like Mr. Rogers kind of material. A grand water trine can be a profound moment to say, I'm just going to feel what I feel. And I'm going to move into and through my fear of closeness. I'm not going to just move into the next thing that needs to be done, staying busy so that I don't have to feel what I'm feeling because I love this person or this thing so much that I don't know what to do with the feelings. Or I want to be loved so much that I don't know what to do with those feelings. The feeling of loneliness or the feeling of lack or whatever it is. That we are profound multidimensional beings that can observe and experience our own emotions while being identified with them at the same exact time is pretty profound. And I think we find something of great value when we allow ourselves to really feel what we're feeling and trust that something more than, that the feelings can be something more than good or bad. So anyway, number 3 is I trust that this closeness is enough. Another thing that I thought was interesting in reading this book of Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, this fascinating book, one of the things that I found really interesting about it was that also that there's, sometimes people are afraid of closeness. And sometimes people, even if they have closeness in their life, it's kind of like there's a pit, that a hole that just can't ever be filled. A grand water trine can help us to feel and receive the closeness that's all around us all the time. It's like for some people there's a child that didn't get the attachment, that didn't get the emotional attention, the validation. And so then it becomes really hard for anyone or anything to ever fill that hurt, that gap, that wound. One of the things that's profound about a grand water trine is that we can take a moment to let this grand water trine be like drinking from a fire hydrant. You know, it's like just here is something very powerful, very affirming. And then we have to, but then it's like there's a parent in us that has to tell the little child, you're receiving right now and it's enough. You're okay. It is enough. You can trust that this is enough. You can receive this. So the other thing that I feel like I've been thinking about with this grand water trine is just that there's a whole lot of people out there that are afraid of emotions, and then there's a whole lot of people that feel starved emotionally. And so it's like when emotional connection comes, you're like at a buffet. I heard someone say this recently. And it's like you're eating as much as you can, and then you're stuffing food in your pants, being like, I don't know when I'm ever going to get back here. And it might never come back. When you're receiving and your underlying voice is like, this will go away, or I can't trust this, or I may never get this again. It's like we're interfering with our ability to receive what's present. So one of the wounds that can be healed with a grand water trine coming through is that we can receive very deeply and start to teach ourselves, this is enough, and I can trust that it'll come back. I can trust that intimacy and being fed emotionally, being validated, being loved, being nurtured, I can trust that it will come back and find me again. I can trust that when it does come, that it's enough. I don't have to scrutinize it or doubt it or pull it or tear it apart somehow. It's okay. I find sometimes I'll be talking to a client and they'll say, I'm dating someone and they're showing me all these signs that they love me, but I feel like I don't know if it's real or not. That's what this is like. It's like, oh, we can sabotage such good things because we've been wounded and we don't know how to trust what we're receiving. To really feel it and enjoy it because we're thinking to ourselves, this is too good to be true. Whereas people that maybe have a healthier form of attachment model to them, let's say growing up or something, and they receive those things, it's like, yeah, well, of course I can trust this because maybe I've had a healthy program of attachment and emotional validation kind of like installed in me, so to speak. So for some of us, that's not the case. And so we have to learn to trust when we receive that it's good enough, that it's okay, that it's trustworthy. These are watery lessons. Number 4 is I trust positive attachment to be more effective than control. I see this a lot when I do like marital counseling for people with astrology, which forms a huge amount of the work that I do. So many people come in to talk about their marriage or relationships. And not that I'm some kind of guru, but just, you pick up insights and lessons along the way, and especially when I'm in one myself and learning about it as I go. So one of the things that this has been said by many people, this is not my unique wisdom, but when you develop positive attachment, let's just call it bondedness. We live in a world that often is, if you use the word dependent, people think immediately codependent. There's a big difference between codependent and dependent. In a negative sense, codependent is like can't live without, some kind of unhealthy neurotic attachment, something like that. The positive attachment, bondedness, dependency is the normal way of life in a cosmos that is relational by its very nature. That we should be in and thrive because we are in meaningful relationships with other beings is just a basic fact about our existence. It's true in the animal kingdom, it's true for humans. Positive attachments, positive bondedness, meaningful, cooperative, reciprocal relationships are a measure of like health and happiness, really. Nothing's perfect, but it's hard to say otherwise. So many of the times when we don't feel like we're getting our needs met, we feel like everything we do, every behavior we choose, every choice we make, everything we say is designed to get a result. Maybe it's to get a result through subtle manipulation of the other person. If I be who they want me to be and I do the things that make them happy, then they're more likely to do the things that I need. So there's a transactional nature. I think transactional nature it's like one part of what relationships are by their very nature. I'm not trying to say that there's no room or space for transactions. It's just part of how things go. It's like I'll scratch your back and you'll scratch mine, please. It's like, but when we bond really deeply with people, when we learn to have practices of closeness with friends, with colleagues and coworkers, with our lover, with our children, with family members, that bondedness, that closeness, that care for each other, will effectively accomplish practical things that we need or want. Will take care of needs, wants, desires, hopes, wishes in practical, concrete, material ways so much more effectively than control. And by control, I mean trying to control ourselves or others in the way we act or behave with each other so that we get a certain result. The grand water trine and water itself as an element says, trust the bonds that you have on the level of love, on the level of things like things that you have heartfelt emotional connections to. For some people, that could be the Buddha, or that could be Jesus or something. I mean, things that you share deep, heartfelt connections with that gather you together with other people, or the bond that you create with a friend or a lover that's both physical and it's forged through so many memories and things that you do together. When you form those bonds with people, when that becomes the primary, the primary goal is not to get something, but to share intimacy and closeness with other beings. That those beings, because they care for you, become vital instruments when you actually need to get sort of practical things done. I couldn't believe, for example, we built all these relationships with our yoga community in the DC metro area. Tons of meaningful community relationships that we built. And when it came to moving our yoga studio, there was a line of people that were just ready to help, ready to contribute, that were just totally there without any effort, And I've always, my wife Ashley has a sun and moon in Taurus in the 11th house, groups, friends, allies. And I'm not as much of an 11th house person as my wife is. And I just noticed that it was like, because my wife spent so much time caring and tending relationships, so she's really, really good at that. In our community, in our yoga community. And I like to think that I helped and participated, but I really see her as like my teacher in this respect. That it was amazing how many people were so willing and eager and quick to step in and help when things needed to get done. And they say the same thing is true in raising kids. I heard this through a podcast my wife was showing me the other day, and I don't remember who it was, but he said, if you can bond with your kids and develop positive attachment with your kids, it's much easier for them to follow the rules and respect the sort of expectations that you set forth, the curfew or whatever it is. But that's not built on discipline as much as it is built on cultivating positive attachment. That when there's positive attachment, emotional care, emotional investment, true and sincere interest in the personhood of your children, that it's not just these are the rules and follow them and there's like that is more effective than trying to control behavior. And as a parent, when I heard that, I was like, that is 150% true. Like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes, and more yes. That is exactly my experience thus far. And I'm not saying that that's been my experience because I've done that naturally. That's been my experience because of what hasn't worked, Finally, 5, I take joy in entering your world and showing interest in you. I've told you guys this before, but there was a study that was done where I think it was like Harvard or something. They brought people into a room and they had different interviewers interview people. And some of the interviewers would talk a lot about themselves or various subjects or topics and spend less time listening to or letting the subject of the experiment talk. So it's like an interview of the person, but sometimes the interviewer would talk more than the person they were interviewing. And when compared to the interviewer that would come in and ask so many meaningful questions and show deep and sincere interest and ask meaningful follow-up questions and really like dig in and get people to come out and show and share themselves at very profound levels, because they just kept showing interest and curiosity and amazement and so forth. they would ask people, who did you like better? And it was like unanimous. Everybody liked the interviewer that drew them out so much and took such a profound interest in them. There's nothing sweeter than hearing your own name. There's nothing sweeter than feeling like who you are is celebrated, and that someone is taking great interest in the way you see and experience things. One of the most profound levels of healing that can happen. And again, I'm not talking about in relationships where maybe you ought to leave, but in relationships where you're with someone who really does care about you. I think we find time and time again, very much like I set my side of my blame and I move closer to you. Let me take a sincere interest in the music you like, in the culture you like, and what you're thinking about, and just give me a guided tour of your world. I delight in it. I want to know it. I'm just completely fascinated. That when we do that, it is one of the quickest ways to build positive attachment. Positive attachment from ourselves toward the person, child, spouse, friend, but also from them to us, because there's nothing that bonds people more quickly to other people than feeling like someone else really loves and is interested in you. Then you want to be attached to them. And ideally, when you feel that way, in a healthy sense, you reciprocate and you say, what about your world? It's so honoring. And in my experience, my best friends throughout life are always the ones where somehow naturally there's a great interest taken in the other. And so yeah, one of the easiest ways we can heal wounds is to not just set aside our blame and move closer to people, but say, my own self-interests are often pretty complicated and heavy. You know what's easier and lighter? Let me take a trip into your world. What is it like let's day trip in your world today? I really want to see it. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What is most compelling to you right now? Let's get into it. Please take me there. I don't think there's anything more healing. I'll give you an example of something that for the longest time I had a really hard time getting into the Grateful Dead. It's one of my wife's favorite bands. And I was never naturally interested. And I had this realization, just like we were talking about, that it's just like she's expressed joy and delight in this so many times. And it's not like I've been like, oh, they're stupid, but I've never like really taken an interest. So one of the things that we did for Mother's Day was I said, I have a request. I was like, could you, this evening after the kids are in bed, I'd love it if we could sit down and you could show me one of your favorite Grateful Dead albums. And maybe we could like get out some of the lyrics. She loves the lyrics. Because I just feel like I really want to get to know them. I want to get to know that part of you, because it just occurs to me that it's something you love that I don't know very much about, and I really want to. She cried. She was so happy. I was really overwhelmed because I thought she'd be happy, but I didn't think it would be so deep. I think so many of us are waiting with some of the toys on our shelves that we just wish that people around us that we love would take more interest in. Why do you love that so much, The easiest way to do that, rather than just waiting and feeling bad that people aren't getting into our worlds, is to do that for other people, At least that's what I'm learning through something like this little simple Grateful Dead thing. I was completely blown away. And not surprisingly, within like a week, my wife was like, this makes me realize that I'd like to know more about this that you're into. It's just like, that's how it works. So anyway, I think these are some really profound things to think about. I feel like these are the lessons of water that I've picked up along the way. I'm a Cancer sun and Mercury Cancer, so a lot of these are a little bit easier for me to talk about because they feel like they're close to my heart. Water, the element of water in my chart is pretty strong. Maybe some of you can relate and have things to add. I'd love to hear from you. Or maybe some of you are like, I don't speak the language of water, so some of this might be really difficult. And these ideas and thoughts are not appropriate in every day, in every situation. But these are some, like, the way that things could be according to the world of water. So anyway, I hope that you find this useful and that you have a great weekend filled with watery connection, healing, and closeness. All right, that's it for now. We will see you again in, let's see, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, we'll be back on Monday, and I'm thinking ahead of what's going on next week, but I'm spacing, so we'll see you next Monday. Bye, everyone. Hey everyone, this is Adam Ellenboss from Nightlight Astrology, and today we are going to continue our series on parenting tips for all 12 signs of the zodiac, and we're going to be looking at Scorpio today. So, if you have Scorpio kids, a Scorpio son or daughter, whatever, that has a rising sign in Scorpio, sun or moon in Scorpio, stellium in Scorpio, or if you want to reflect on your own inner scorpionic child and how you were raised and what your parents might have gotten right, what they might have missed or lost sight of. I think this series is great for people not only who are parents, but people who want to reflect more deeply on the archetypes of the sign and what kinds of support we all needed that we did or didn't get, and when we got it, you can really tell, and when you didn't, you can really tell, and it just helps. So anyway, that's the purpose of this series. We're on Scorpio today. That's what we'll be looking at. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, share your comments, and click the notification bell for updates when I go live. You can find a transcript of any of my daily talks, including today's, on the website nightlightastrology.com. The Nightlight Astrology School is also launching our 26th program this June. 26 groups of students have gone through our programs, coming up with this new group. You can check it out by going to the courses tab, clicking on the first year course, and learning more about the program called Ancient Astrology for the Modern Mystic, a one-year course. Hear what alumni have had to say about it. The class includes 30 webinars that are 2 to 3 hours long each, with rich curriculum that moves from the ground of history and philosophy and astronomy through technique and theory, teaching you how to read natal charts from both a traditional, very predictive kind of approach, blended with a modern archetypal and psychological approach. We have breakout study sessions in between major units of study led by our staff for people who need a little extra help and tutoring. We also have a tutoring staff that takes care of all of your questions in a discussion forum that is active year-round. We also have guest teachers that come in outside of our 30 main lectures. Everything is recorded. If you can't make it live, that is totally fine. You can take it at your own pace. You get to keep everything for a lifetime. You have a year after the program is over, within which you can also take the certification exam. So you could really take up to 2 years with the program if you wanted to. At the bottom of the page, you'll find enrollment instructions. And I encourage you to sign up now because the program starts in just a couple of weeks. And we're at that stage where a lot of you are going to want to, order some books and get your software. If you're going to pick up a software right away, you don't have to right away. There's some free programs as well, but it's nice to get enrolled early. You can use the early bird form.
Bada boom, bada bing, we're done.
That's our best deal. You can also use a payment plan, spread the tuition out over.
I lost a lot of muscle mass. Flex to end.
And then we have need-based tuition assistance contracts still available. So we encourage you, if you need any help in making the program happen, if there's a financial difficulty or restraints that you're facing, because we know life is life and not everyone exists at the same income level.
Strong.
So we try to make sure that no one's priced
That's
out.
what matters. All right.
Apply now. Tell us your situation. We'll be glad
we
to
might not read anybody. We just might sign
your
off.
desire to study astrology is realized. So at any rate, that is it for announcements today. Like I said, we're going to be looking at 5 parenting tips for Scorpio kids. I put all of these in terms of support.
Sure.
Support this, support that, because so many times what we think of is how to get a sign right. Well, if you're a Sagittarius, this is what you have to get right, and this is what you have to watch out for, and like that. And I think every way in which the planets in the signs express themselves in our psychological day-to-day life is always in terms of what is at the core of that archetype. And if you understand what's at the core of that archetype, then when things go off track and maybe express themselves in somewhat more destructive or unhealthy ways, if you understand what's at the core, what are the core archetypal needs, desires, wishes, and ambitions, then you can understand how they sometimes get warped or twisted in ways that aren't so helpful. But that doesn't happen unless you start by acknowledging and supporting and loving what is so beautiful about the sign and what it's trying to do for the soul. So let's start with what I think is, these are in no particular order, but if I had to rank one of them at the top, I'd put this one for Scorpio kids. Support depth. Scorpio is an autumnal